You can see they stand with the foot either side of one of the magnets. The leg to be scanned is between the magnets, and they have the grey coil present, which is a radio transmitter and receiver, which helps to get the MRI scans. And the images are looked at on a computer screen as we get them. So this technology is now able to produce scans, and what we get is a black and white image, and we can see the bones and the soft tissues. And in this sequence here, this is called a T1 sequence, which gives us great anatomical detail. We are slicing through approximately 4 to 5 millimeter slices through the horse's foot as we go. The other main new advance in imaging is bone scanning, or scintigraphy, and this is less useful on the horse's lower limb, but extremely useful on the horse's back and pelvis, and in areas which can't be x-rayed. So these are some bone scans of a horse's back showing some kissing spine problems, where the dorsal spinous processes impinge and rub against each other, and sometimes so bad that we have to operate on these horses. Also on the picture is scans of a horse's pelvis with a hot spot in the area of the sacroiliac joints, where there's some major problems going on. And then on the bottom right is a bone scan of a horse's humerus, a racehorse which has developed a stress fracture in that humerus bone, and now we've identified that the horse has to have a long period of rest to allow that to heal before it can return to racing. So the main difference is the two technologies are very different, and just to try and explain to people about these differences, the bone scanning is extremely useful to scan large areas and to screen the whole horse. Very useful if you've got a horse that we cannot actually do any nerve blocks on. We have trouble doing nerve blocks in the upper limb, in the front or the hind, so that's extremely useful to identify things. And the bone scan is going to give us a lot of information that we're not going to be able to get in any other way, and extremely useful for screening for racehorses, for stress fractures and bone remodeling injuries. It does help us look at muscle injuries and also ligamentous attachments to bones, but it is a bit poor for looking at soft tissues and tendons in particular, which is where the MRI scan comes in. There is a good correlation between the findings on MRI and scintigraphy, however, the bone scanning. So that is very useful, and we often use the two together in some instances.